20 things. It could be just one thing. It could be taking action, and from that action you will get results.
I like that there's action being mentioned here, because most people will hear and then they don't do anything about it. And we're saying, I think it was a few episodes ago where we said knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is when it becomes power. So don't just hear us today. Please go and try at least one thing, at least one. Go and try. Go and start somewhere, and then you will figure out the rest of the steps along the way. So here we are today, George, on the, what's the date today? 25th of September.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of days before, we shut down this month, and we literally have 3 months until the end of the year.
That's right.
We are talking today about doing business with your partner. How do you even start the conversation?
Right.
Your business, Daisy.
I think it's a very important topic, and there are some people who are very pro for it, and there are some people who are against it. But I would like to begin with this, because I believe your partner that you're with in business, and we're going to talk about partners in marriage, and then just other partners as well in business. But we'll start with the partners in marriage. I think it's important people understand their strengths and their weaknesses. I have so many entrepreneur friends who are very great, amazing entrepreneurs. But when it comes to management of money, they can't manage their money. Their money management skills are poor. And therefore, the other partner may have strength in that regard. And you need to be able to identify that and actually say, wait a minute, I'm not very good with keeping money. Let me engage my partner in it. And so many of my friends who are my colleagues, people I play with, have actually enrobed their wives, because some of their wives are accountants, admins, etc.
Yeah.
And there's a pro to it. It's a very complicated situation, but once you merge and you understand the vision of where you want to go ultimately, you can actually build a very great sustainable business as you start up. So it's important as an entrepreneur. Most guys don't want to reveal how much he's getting. He keeps money from the missus and etc. But if you want to build something for your family, right, as you start up, I tell you, it's a great thing to do. It also depends on the skill set of your partner, because if your partner may be the opposite of you, they may also be very easy to release money, and then that becomes a disaster. Maria's talk, when there are personal things at home, it affects the business. There's a maturity that comes with it, and that's why I'm saying it's most important to have a partner who understands where you guys are going. Now, so many things that I've learned over the years. I think we grew up seeing all these successful companies deemed to be successful back then, because Babando were going to Ubasa and the wife would stay at home. And because the wife didn't have any knowledge of how the business was run, dad got sick, Baba Pamba died, and that's that. She didn't even know where to go and secure goods, to buy stock, to do anything. And guess what? The company was ran down because of the lack of knowledge of the business the husband is in. So, to me, I'm in very great support. Some of my mentors work with their wives. And I work with my wife as well. She does so many other things, but she comes in to facilitate.
All right.
I wouldn't be the person I am without the amazing input that my wife personally gives me in order to direct me in the course I should go. And I mean, it goes on to understanding what is it that you are building. Is it, if you're keeping everything in your pocket, the entrepreneur, trust you me, if you fall sick and some things need to be done,
that's the end.
It's important. Yes, some people will say, no, George, I'd rather employ people from different walks in life to come in.
But then who's going to take over the business when you are long gone? Is it going to be the person from the street, from different walks of life, or would you rather have someone from your
True.
from your bloodline or from your home.
True. So I can hear so many people right now saying, George, me working with my wife, it's a pure disaster. But trust you me, it's about understanding the vision. And most of the time, as entrepreneurs, when your vision is not clear, one thing I love about your partners, and it's important to have a lifelong vision with your partner, especially if you understand where you're going. If you don't have a lifelong vision with your partner, you are always worried about, is my asset secured? Is she going to liquidate this, that, and the other? But if you know you're with your partner for life, trust you me, a woman was put in a man's life to help him achieve his purpose and his goals.
Right.
They came to assist us so that we can be better people. But then majority of people don't see that. They think they can do it by themselves. Trust you me, when we began earlier on with Pro Air, I couldn't do everything. And, the best decision I did was to ask to come and join me. And similar thing with my mentors who told me, I asked my wife to resign from an NGO, from a bank, from this, to come and assist, because there were times things were low and you couldn't recruit other people. But then if your wife, your partner is there, it
Then
can
you
start
can-
somewhere. But wakafunga kuti mutorwa munasiriwe padhuze hanzwisise when things are low and there's no salaries and stuff, but there's no better person who will understand than your partner. So for me, I think it depends. Like I ultimately said, people see different views of it, but I think if you have a vision of where you want to go and you download it into your wife, into your kids, into your family, that way it makes a lot of sense. And I've seen so many great enterprises here in the country where you see most of my mentors, have something to do with their wives. And panozosvika a certain stage where maybe they want to grow, and they want to get other investors in. Obviously, they won't want a family-run company, in order for them to invest. But that's a different situation. That only comes when you really want to capitalize your business, list it on stock or stuff like that.
Okay.
But the initial stages, trust you me, to people who are listening, your wife is not a knife. She's a wife.
No, she's not supposed to be one.
Right. So people shouldn't say, madava ndakavapa big Trust you me, that money is safer in the hands of a woman because she knows how to take care of things. And I've always said, early days before I was persuaded by my mentors, I used to want to try and do everything. But there are certain things that work better when you delegate certain responsibilities. They'll be done more efficiently. And women have a gift of multitasking.
Yeah.
If you are good at going to kill nyama, you will and then she will know how to manage it.
She will know what to do, yeah.
See, don't be the guy who's doing salaries, who's doing this, who's going to pay for this. Delegate some things. And you'll be amazed at, especially when you're starting, how that can help you to become a better entrepreneur and focus on what you are good at the most.
Absolutely. 0719100404. Today we're talking partnership in businesses, but as in working with your partner, whether you are married or in courtship and you can see that you're going to spend the rest of your lives together. This is what we are talking about. We've got messages that are coming through. 520 says, afternoon, true what you said. Our personal lives must be a true testimony than just words.
Yep.
Like we must actually mean what we say and say what we mean and like really show it out. Also, Mushonga Ndomboshawa, good afternoon to you. Thank you for tuning in. And Vaswera say, Becky, this is Gogo Va Ashley. If you have any questions, contributions, contributions that you want to add to what we are talking about today, please go ahead. There's a lady that I know who roped in her husband for business. Vakachibata ku Gulf Street. Vakachibata mai vavo. And it started off, she was selling, I think it was like gadgets. She was selling gadgets in a Seychelles, by Famba door to door, until she managed to raise enough money to rent a store. And now she's got a couple of stores at Gulf. But she roped in her husband to work with her. Can let me teach you how to sell. Let me teach you how to do this thing. In that instance, in that case, where the woman is the one who's got like the upper hand with the business and draws the man in to the business, how how would you say is the best way to balance that kind of work relationship, knowing what a man is like?
Yeah, I think people want to analyze that too much.
Yeah.
But trust you me, man or woman, especially when you're married, you're one. You become one. So whether it's the wife's great idea and the husband is coming to assist, or it's the husband's great idea, at the end of it, the success is both yours. So who don't understand the vision that this couple has, who want to say, no, that was madam's idea, never his. But trust you me, when they are going on holiday, when they are living a great life, ultimately it's their vision which is being fulfilled. So many people will talk. I mean, it's like talking about Joyce Meyer. She owns she's the owner of ministry, and her husband supports her.
Yeah.
But you don't hear. We've got this black mentality. No, she's the visionary, this, that. So the husband is this. No. He actually, or she actually, plays a major role. We are in life, especially as couples, once we're married, there to assist each other. The greatest challenge with people, marriage and success and having money, it's not a competition. It's complementing each other. You've got kids, you've got fees, you've got things to pay. How would you know? So listen, I do what I want with my salary. I've got an amazing story of a gentleman whose wife was earning more than him. And things were hard. He wasn't being treated right. His in-laws will tell this, that, and that about him. But then there's a time when his breakthrough came through.
Come on now.
And then things changed. And now he began to take care of everybody. But at a time where Musa did this, that, and the other. So life has an amazing way. And he then treated his wife well and etc. Then his wife actually came on board to actually help him.
Assist now with what they were doing.
So life is not, be very careful, especially, married people out there, to be very patient with your spouse or your partner, especially in times of starting business. I remember, my wife has been very supportive from day one for me when I decided to resign and start my journey of entrepreneurship.
What was her response?
So she was working in a bank, earning $400. I was earning, nearly about the same. And, we used to join our money together to do this, that, and the other. But then she was very supportive of me at that time. She always said, whatever you always put your mind to, I know you'll put in your all and it will happen. But it's not all, couples out there who are very affirmative of each other. They're not encouraging each other. But sometimes the greatest, you can be a multi-award business person. You may be a great entrepreneur. You may be making millions. But what you lack is the simple affirmations, support from your spouse. Everywhere else, but at home you are belittled. Your little successes, it's just $100 you came with, it's nothing. But trust you me, everything begins small. So it's important as spouses, as partners in business, to be there to support each other.
Right.
Down times. I can only tell truly that muna non support and this not dear munchai, but who's too materialistic. It's a red flag for couples listening out there. It's a serious red flag for you to be with somebody who's all about the money and is not seeing the patience that what he was doing. And now he became the president of the United States.
Yeah.
And had I met somebody else, I probably was going to do, because that's my purpose.
Yes,
I'm there to amplify
the
purpose of my husband, for him to fulfill his vision. So for women out there, it's important. Be so supportive. Husbands out there, be supportive. It doesn't matter. There's so many of my friends who say, my wife has tried this, it has failed. Trust you me, the more times she tries, sooner than later, something is going to crack and she's going to make it. So don't give up keeping on trying to finance that business or to support.
Madam, and stop that and stop it right now and work together towards a common goal. So in your words, George, it's good to work with your partner.
I think it is. There's some people who may say, I'm already working somewhere else for me to fully support my husband. It could be you doing books after hours for your husband.
Right. I was about to ask you to is working together. Does it mean that we spend 24/7?
So I'll tell you about my mentors. They've been working together for the past 15-20 years. his wife is head of accounts and admin. He said, listen, there are times you guys are going to be down at each other's throats.
Yeah.
You know, you have your issues, you bring home issues to work, but the longer you do it, trust you me, you will mature and actually understand that, listen, we have a vision and a mandate. There's so many people that I know who work together, and Chakakosha is understanding each other, respecting each other's boundaries. Like you said at the beginning, knowing that home is home, work is work. Sometimes it's very difficult for those who are in it to separate home from, you know, work issues. Madame may be cooking supper. Was it called? How funny was it? And we say, you know, and it's the wrong time. It's time at home. But it's about being real and understanding the vision, and also understanding that when you're at work, it's work. You're my wife at home, but when you're at work, the same responsibilities I expect you. You know, and husbands, sometimes I know, and there are a lot of them listening right now who work with their wives. Sometimes the way we talk to our wives to instruct them on certain things, it may not be the most loving way, but sometimes it's because we want certain things done in a specific way. But then sometimes, you know, put it across, because, you know, it's important that, you know, you balance the, you know, relationship and make things work. So many people may have others whose wives are at work or their husbands at work.
Yeah.
Murid too, you complement each other. One has a strength the other one doesn't have. Make sure you rope that in and ask for help. Don't go and ask for help. I've gotten some of the best advice, you know, from my wife about so many things. And trust me, it has helped me become the person that I am. Sometimes, we want to say, I know it all. But trust me, some of the best advice you get from the person who's right next to you. But when people see you flourishing, they won't know or. So sometimes that input is important. It goes both ways. Really ask for advice. How can I grow my business? What do you think I can do, you know, to be able to scale up? You'll find your husband has great marketing skills that he does at his workplace that you don't have. Ask him, how can I? So it's a win-win. But I think when you understand, I think the most important thing for couples is to understand the vision of where you are wanting to go. It's going to be competition. It's my money, it's this. That for me is a red flag. If you see a relationship with people where this is mine, this is that, there's a serious red flag. And, you know, time will tell, but it's a ticking time bomb, because you need to understand that I am there to complement you. I am there to provide for you, but we are most importantly together to make our vision, our dreams come together and, you know, bring fulfillment.
Work. That's true. And let me just take you back to the whole skill set aspect of things. So here's a scenario: gentleman A wants to start his business and he wants to rope in his wife, but his wife has a certain level of understanding or has a certain level of school and can't really do bookkeeping, can't really do admin. What can she do? This man wants, he's listening right now and he's like, George, I hear what you're saying is a good idea. Madam, business, madam. But madam,
Becky, to be truthful, it's not for everyone.
Okay.
Get this correctly. We're not saying every husband and wife, go and tell your wife to resign and join your journey on entrepreneurship.
Okay.
No, we are not saying that. But trust you me, there are skill sets you know your wife has. You know. She may not have gone to school for it, she may not have a university degree, but she knows how to manage your home. And trust you me, we have this thing of wanting to belittle somebody according to what you think of them. You know, I remember giving this example of, you know, somebody who worked for me. And, you know, this person came in basic responsibilities. But when you then got to ask, where did you work before? You found out this person was a driver for such and such. This person actually has great qualifications. But you didn't dig deeper to actually say, wait a minute, also why it as research? So this is actually nothing. You can actually do a whole lot more. So I think it's so true with, you know, wives out there. If you see some of the wives at work listening right now, they can do amazing things that can actually help you uplift your business, for your business to actually go to greater heights. Same with your husband. He may be a great operations, you know, finance director wherever he is. And they can actually come out of that, your rentals are too high. You need to move. Go and operate from the cottage at home, or go and get a smaller shop in town, because the most expensive thing here, udakuramba uri at this place, but it's too expensive to run from here. So change location, go to a. So it's about complementing each other. So let's not be couples or people who, you know, are looking at each other and saying, nah, you know, I don't think she's good at this, and, you know, undermining each other. Understand the purpose of people who become one is you're on the same boat. If there's a, you know, if there's some water coming from the boat underneath, both of you are going to sink in that boat. So quickly go and say, hey, I think you should do this, and take the advice. Well, there are people who can be given advice by somebody outside the husband or wife, or you know. So it's important to, you know, be very sensitive and understand that we have a vision.
Yeah.
In marriage, there's no competition, right? The hustle is real, the grind is real.
But we're not competing.
It's to make us become great, successful, and reach a specific thing that we have said. These are our goals and our targets. But makamani sana, like I said, serious red flags, and ultimately it will lead to disaster.
Right. We are speaking to George Billionaire on Hustle How today. We're talking about doing business with your partner, with your spouse, getting into business with your spouse. And he just broke it down. And guys, in marriage, if you're going to do business together, it's a competition. You're complementing each other for that common goal. Then a question came through from 616. Anzi, yeah, all right. What happens when you get a divorce, George? What happens then? Yeah,
you know, if you are thinking, and I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen, but I think if somebody is seeing that or visualizing that, I've been mentored by great people, and I emulate my mentors. I don't see divorce. I don't even think of it. I'm with my partner because we love each other and we've decided to build something.
Right.
It's something that they constantly may think about. I know certain circumstances may happen, but trust you me, if your vision is to, most of the great successful entrepreneurs I know in this country, I have gone down that route to work with their spouses. And then at a later stage, once the business grows, and like I said earlier, funny a point where you're working with your wife, but then there's a time that, you know, investors want to come in. There are people where you want to grow your business and you need to sell shareholding. It can't be a family-run company if it is to that stage. You need to have proper structure. Then you can, you know, then sell off shares. You know, Madame can start off whatever she's doing and etc. But she still understands a bit of running of the business. In the event you are to fall down, my brother who asked, there's somebody who will continue that business. That's the most important thing, because I assume you have a family and stuff that you want that business to take care of. So it's important at least Madame has a little insight of how the business is run, where things are gotten from, you know, who are your major clients and etc. I think it's more beneficial than to look at the negative side.
True.
But if you're looking at really building something, you know, it's important to really, you know, consider working with your spouse. Like I said, it's not for everybody.
It's definitely not for everybody.
Let's not people say that, George also had that.
It's not for everybody.
No, it's not.
I can attest.
There are people who can do it, especially like I said, my people perish because of lack of
knowledge.
Yeah, but chinchino's vision, chinchakakosha. If you know where you want to go, the both of you, and what you want to do,
it's easy.
You're not going to be spending money unnecessarily. No, this is my money. I want to fly out. I want to go to this. It's a mutual understanding of this is where we are, and this is what we want to do. And Becky, I want to now flip it. It's great. I think we've spoken about couples a lot. Now there are also partnerships where I was teaching this at my mentorship program I have, and so many people ask me, George, I've been to school with my friend, and you know, we've decided to start a business. It's still under partnership.
It's still under partnership.
I think we've spoken about Madame and Mr.
Yeah, and
That's great.
and we get the gist.
Yeah, like I said, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And for those who work, it works. For those who cannot spend most of the time together, great. You know what? Make a plan and make it work.
Get on your mate.
But there are others where this is my best friend. We grew up together at school. Now we want to start this air conditioning company. What do you think? And I've always said to people, and to people who are listening out there, please go and do a little bit of research and come back to me and tell me the answer to this. Do you know a partnership of people who started a business together that has lasted more than 5 years, where both of them are looking to share those profits, and that's the only thing they do? Hakuna, I've tried. So if you see you and me, Becky K, we start a renovations company together,
right?
And
that's
both of us,
both
of us are looking forward to the profits coming out of that. Trust you me, it won't last long, because both of us are wanting to.
The same thing. We just want
Ipapo. I'll bring my client, Mr. John Blog.
But 50,000.
And you had nothing to do with it.
Yes.
Then you bring your customer who brings 2,000. Then I'll be like, down the 50, but we're still splitting. Sooner than later, you begin to see that there'll be differences. Because when the money is little, it's okay. It's all right. We can split 50-50. But the moment I start bringing in big, I'll start doing things behind your back. And it will not then make sense.
So friends can't do business together?
Friends or people, generally, partnership. And there's so many people I've said, and I'm going to clarify this to people who may say, George, doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Partnership does not make sense if you have started together. It won't last. Trust you me, there will be so many fights and battles. No, Pro A is mine, this, that. No, okay, I'm keeping the name, you go and start yours. That's majority of the thing. But a partnership that works, Becky K, you do your renovations company, I have my Pro A here. Then we decide, hey, Becky, why don't we invest or start a business that a restaurant or something, right? Where you and me are saying, let's bring our money together to do something. But that's not the thing. We are both looking out to take care of our personal needs. That type of partnership can work. Or a partnership that can come where your business started, and now you need investors to make your business to grow up. That can work because already you found that organization, and then now you need capital to grow your business to have many branches. That makes sense. But the initial one, like I said, and so many of my mentees have come, I should have taken your advice 2 years ago, exactly what you said. Once we hit $10,000, you started saying, I stole this money, or I brought this customer, or this, that, and the other. Kana Maria Wedzera, trust you me, that's where people begin to change. So money really amplifies the inner person once you are in partnership with somebody. And remember this, Becky, Pro A is my baby. I'm partnering with you. There's certain things I want done. And most of the time with people who partner each other, somebody is the one who actually founded that company.
Thank you.
And then they thought, no, maybe with Becky, she can help me with marketing and sales. And that doesn't work. I would rather get somebody who works for you and don't jump into, hey, let's go 50-50. Let's go and register a company and I give you 50%. That doesn't work. So if it's your vision, if it's your baby, rather employ people than to make them directors and get advice and input from people who can help you grow. There's no way that great sales or marketing person can be 50-50 with you on your vision, because sooner than later, kanapane mari, you'll see the true colors of that person. So I think it's important people know that also, that I believe partnership, especially when you are the visionary, just to enrobe somebody else to assist you to grow your business, it won't last long. Trust you me, and you're going to have these quarrels. I'm not a prophet, but I'm telling you,
like last year or something, I should have spoken to you about this.
Yeah, because most of the time, even if it was your best friend, you see the true colors of your friend when money arrives.
When money is involved, it changes the whole ball game. Like, it really flips it out of the ballpark, and you're like, whoa. Okay. And then also sometimes the interests are not the same. You might have strong passion about that business, and this one who's coming on board, or even maybe the one who has roped you in. Let's say I'm the one who was roped in. And then you become more passionate than the person who draws you in, and you're like, I'm passionate about this, and then the dream dies, and now you're left hanging, and you're like, what to do now?
I've got a friend who started a tracking company, and it's a pity that when they started, they thought they were it was a great idea, and etc. But then you'll find the longer and longer you get in, there's one who works harder than the other.
Definitely.
And then you'll start saying to yourself, this is not, if it were me, I wouldn't want to buy a Mercedes-Benz. I would want to buy another truck. I would want to invest in more stock. But because of your differences of values and ultimately your vision of where you want to go, it will stifle the growth of your organization. Because he wants to do this. But if it was yours and your decision alone, and it was your company,
you
100%,
would know exactly what you
would say,
do
no,
with it.
I'm not going to go on holiday. I'm not going to buy these unnecessary things. I want to make this business grow. I want to reward myself after I've got 10 trucks or stock that's worth X amount, so that business keeps going. But spending your money does not bring more money, especially if buying a car or unnecessary things. Buy the product, buy the vehicles, buy the things that make you make more money.
That's true.
So when the visions are different, when the values are different, that's where partnership then does not make sense. And
so what are we saying then, as a closing, to like wrap it up? Are we saying partnership is a no-no, or we are saying partnership is okay, but you must have it clearly stated who is doing what? And if we're going to go for a partnership, we better be with your spouse because you have the same vision as this person.
Yeah, partnership with your spouse, understand your spouse in the right sense, is not going to steal from you or use money to do
Hopefully
the wrong
not.
things, etc. All right, okay? So in that manner, it's good. But with somebody who you are 50-50 with, and it's so easy for people, hey, I'll give you 50% of, my company. You're saying that because your company doesn't have anything. It has no assets when you start.
Right.
But you don't understand the ripple effect once your company now has assets, homes, buildings, and all this property. It means right in the half, they're going to split things. So I say to people out there, understand and know. For me, from the wisdom I have gained from my mentors and so many people I've sat down with, partnership to me is a no-no with somebody who is unequally yoked in your values and vision.
Okay.
You may say, George, this is my brother, this is my friend, this is my high school, we met in Colombia.
You get into business with my sisters.
I wouldn't want to blow your candle or say, don't do it. But trust me, if you're listening to me, listen very clearly.
Listen well, or clean your ears.
Clearly. You will come back and say, what George was talking about then made sense, because only now I thought Becky K was the greatest person ever. But then with time, I began to see certain things.
Traits, yeah.
The work ethic is not there. I'm more passionate about this. I'm the one who's always working late.
That's it.
If ever I delegate her to go and take care of my customer, she doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's as though, it's pulling and it's a tug of war instead of you pulling and drawing in the right direction. So partnership has to be, and I repeat, has to be with people who have the same vision, who know where they're going. It can work for people who, like I said, we were investing into a business and we then ask, listen, I'll bring 2 of my sales guys, you bring 2. Let's make sure we help to manage to grow this business.
Yeah.
That partnership can work.
Yeah.
But if it's the same thing, it would make someone who tell us, no, I want to see how much we made at the end, and that's your only source of income. You won't understand when times are low and it's a downtime and business is not great and etc. So there has to be an understanding. And even when business does come, we need to understand, wait, but last time, we need to pay back X and this and that and the other. So for me, simple advice from the little knowledge and wisdom that I've gotten over the years, I don't believe in partnerships. It may look great. It may look great on paper.
It may sound great also.
It may be a guy you graduated with. It may be your sister. It may be your best friend. It may be whoever. It may be, no, we go to church. She's an elder at church and I'm this. I don't want to go into that.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust to me.
No.
That's when you begin to see, church, but
Jesus is Lord.
Yeah.
Just so you know. There's a message that we have from 893 and upon ndipo pane chokwadi chese mumwe anenge achida kutsenga iwe uchingoisa mari kutenga zvinhu zvinosimudzira business. So in that instance, clearly you cannot be in business with someone like that.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who poured some money into a business in South Africa, 2 million rands to be exact. She pours money into this business, and the lady that she was partnering with seemed to be like, oh, you know, money has come. And then she relaxed on the job, and now this lady is about to buy her out of her own business.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Just because you didn't see the bigger vision, you didn't see the bigger picture, someone pours money into your company and you think it's Christmas Day every day.
Imagine that. And you know, imagine you're a Christian, right? And you believe in tithing, and then the person you are partnering with does not believe in that. Already you are unequally yoked with somebody, and then guess what? It's not going to go. It's not going to slide. So, you know, for me, it's a total no-no. This is for me. But for you, who has your own philosophy, please, my brother or my sister, listening attentively to Hustle Hard, please do as you may. But remember my words. It may, for the first year, it will be great. But what I'm saying to you, when the money increases, you will see the true amplification of character of the person you call your partner. And then sooner than later, because you got money from another deal and you bought yourself a car or you went on holiday, your partner will get envious and start thinking you are stealing in the organization. And from there, it's a time bomb ticking, and sooner than you know it, your business is liquidated and you're starting again from zero. So my advice, please, rather stick to your guns. Start slow, recruit people who can assist you on the journey. Don't make anybody a partner. They can work for you. After they work for you, even if you want to then sell shares, sell 5% shareholding. And as that person maybe increases, you know, but never sell 50-50. To me, it's a total no-no. And that's my high recommendation on partnership on Hustle Hard.
Awesome stuff. George, Billionaire on Hustle Hard, talking all things partnership. It's 1 o'clock. Stand by for the news. And if you missed this talk, you can find it on Capi Talk FM on our Facebook page. Stand by for the news. It's 1 o'clock.